Welcome to this episode of In Conversation with Tibet TV. The Tenzin Gyatso Science Scholars program, named after His Holiness the Dalai Lama, is made possible by significant support from the Dalai Lama Foundation and Emory University. It is one of the core components of the Emory Tibet Science Initiative. The program is designed to develop and nurture indigenous and Tibetan monastic science teachers by providing additional college-level science education at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. With the purpose of ensuring long-term sustainability of science education within Tibetan monasteries and nunneries in India, 7 cohorts of 43 scholars had completed the program since its inception in 2010. Upon the completion of their residency program, the monastics returned to their institutions to take up active and leading roles in the science education program. We are pleased to welcome Tenzin Ngodup from Debung Roseling, one of the Tenzin Gyatso scholars who graduated in 2025, for today's interview. Welcome to the program, Ngodupla.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So Ngodupla, before we dive into your experience and learnings from the Tenzin Gyatso Scholarship Program, could you tell us what you have been doing since your return to the monastery?
Oh yeah, I returned here to the monastery in July, and since I was in the peak class of the monastery, so I had to take the examination in August. So I have been preparing for my examination, and I took the examination, and after that, now I am eligible for the GILU examination for Geshe Harampa degree. So yeah, I'm preparing for it, and I'm in the first year now.
Congratulations on that, Ngodupla. And also,
thank you so much.
And also, what inspired you to apply for this Tenzin Gyatso Science Scholarship Program? Were you always interested in science and the convergence of science and Tibetan Buddhism?
Yeah, I mean, I did my schooling, middle school in my hometown in Lahul, which is in Himachal Pradesh, and I studied, the basic science back in the school. So when I joined the monastery and I started learning Buddhism, and inspired by the, guidance of His Holiness and my teachers here, I was very much interested. So that inspired me a lot.
Right. So, what was it like studying in a university abroad in a different language with different settings and with students from diverse culture?
It was both challenging and very transformative. I think, at the beginning, the language barrier and in a whole different system, far away from my monastery, it was very difficult for me at the beginning. But I mean, the group was very well supported by ETSI faculty. The professors were like super nice, and then we had peer mentors. They helped us in every aspect of our education system. So it was very nice to be there.
Right. So speaking on the subjects you studied, and the program was structured mainly to focus on biology, physics, neuroscience, psychology, and English, right?
Yeah.
So which
Yeah, right.
subject fascinated you the most?
I mean, science itself is a very, fascinating subject. At the beginning, when I was here in the monastery, I always used to say that I like physics. But when I delve into the, deeper studies in the university, I think it has its own, beauty learning science, especially like neuroscience. It talks a lot about brain system, and then physics talks about the fundamental things, and then biology talks about how life begins from cell to the cosmologic things. So I think when I we spent a lot of time learning biology in the university. So I would say like biology was one of my favorite subject when I was in the university. So it changed, there was a change when I was in the monastery, and then when I joined the university. I think it changed me a lot.
Um, so Ngodupla, the Western, as you know, the Western academic structure differs from the monastic academic structure. How did you navigate that journey?
Um, I think that was really interesting, since I had seen some schools and colleges here in India, but I was not aware of the system of the Western academic system. So when I was there, I noticed that there are similarities between the monastic education system and the university system. Um, But the thing is, like, I started to appreciate more the monastic system and what I had been, learning for ages. I mean, like for decades, because here in the monastery, we are not just learning, Buddhism at the surface level, but we have, systematically, in the academics in the monastery, it's very rigor, and we have to spend like 23 years to complete it. And the education we are gaining here, we talk about humanity, we talk about the inner peace, and we are talking about the universal things. It is not like just we are choosing one subject and investigating in it, but the thing that we are learning here in the monastery, it's systematically, it's very rigor, and also like very well planned. So I started appreciating more, and that there were thoughts in when I was there, like when I get back to the monastery, I will study harder than before.
Right. So throughout your programs, you got exposed to a lot of these new concepts, right? So was there any scientific concepts that conflict with the Buddhist philosophy? And if so, how did you navigate those differences in your learnings?
Yeah, I think since the aim to learning science is to get another perspective to see the world, and there are some sort of conflicts, or I would say like there are some challenges which does not align with a Buddhist concept, such as like evolution, and also like if you talk about the cosmological things, in Buddhism we talk about Mount Meru and all. These concepts, they contradict a bit, but I think that was not a big problem for me, because I was mentally prepared that I was going to learn, I was going to have that tool to see the world. And there are like different aspects, and I'm open to accept those changes. And on top of that, I was very much aware that the basic concept could be differ, because in Buddhism we are talking about getting liberation from the samsara, but in science, we are learning that how this world works, and their basic, the thing is like in science we are learning how to live in this world. So there are basic contradictions, but that doesn't bother me.
So what do you do with these contradictions right now? Do you agree to disagree, or do you challenge yourself to dig deeper into these scientific concepts?
Yeah, I agree to disagree. I think that's the beauty of Buddhism, I guess. It makes me more open to see the differences, and I really appreciate the diversity in the thought
Right.
process, and different schools. Even in Buddhism, we have like 4 different schools, and within 4 different schools, we have like many more different schools. So we don't have to agree to everything.
Right. So, Ngurubla, looking back at your journey now that you're back in the monastery, what are some of the most significant changes that you noticed in yourself, both personally and academically, since the beginning of the program?
Um, yeah, I think there are lots of changes. I think I usually used to, appreciate the diversity, but as I delve into the university and learn a lot with international students, and I see like how the students are so enthusiastic towards their own, goals, and how they, different students, they are appreciating their own, you know um, appreciating their own goals. Um, and that make me feel like the diversity, we need the diversity in this world. It cannot be like we cannot make the whole world like one. I think even during the time of the Buddha, he didn't try to make everyone Buddhist. So yeah, that was the most significant thing that I started to appreciate diversity with my own experience.
Right. So, speaking of diversity, you went to the university with the background in Tibetan Buddhism. Were you able to share some of your knowledge to the students there or the faculty?
Yeah, I think that was uh, one of the most, nice things that happened in the university, because being a monk, they appreciate us. And then they had lots of questions. Since I went there with this exchange visa, it was the cultural exchange, though. So there were lots of, times when I had this opportunity to talk about Buddhism and share the little knowledge that I had gained studying Buddhism in the monastery. So yeah, there were a lot of times when these things occurred.
So how are their responses? Are they a little more interested in exploring Tibetan Buddhism now?
Yeah, I think Emory is a really nice place, though. We have the Emory, Tibet Week every year celebrated in Emory, and I think most of the students actually know about Tibet and Tibetan Buddhism. Um, and as I told you before that, um, talking about the diversity, the experiential thing was that like students were really interested to know and to learn about us and to learn about the Buddhism when we talk about like basic things of Buddhism, like just an introduction to the Buddhism, and then they had lots of questions. Yeah, they were more interested in it.
Right. So Ngurubla, now that you're back in the monastery, with the knowledge that you gained from Emory University, what scope does it have in enhancing or contributing to the science curriculum in monasteries here?
Yeah, that's really interesting. The first thing is that since I, came back to the monastery, I'm teaching biology here in the Meditation and Science Center of Loseling. And the good thing is that since I'm teaching science, being a monk, teaching science to the fellow monastics, it's very fascinating because I'm not just talking about science and scientific concept, but also I'm talking about Buddhism and the contradictions, the similarities and all, and then it makes the students, the fellow monks, gain some more interest in science, and that is the I think the basic idea of for us to go there, study science, and come back to the monastery so that we can, share our experience and let the monastics have some, gain some more interest in science.
Right. So all the very best with your studies and with teaching, Ngurubla, and thank you so much for speaking to Tibet TV.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
That is all for this episode of In Conversation with Tibet TV. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.